Hey guys, today's video, we are working on something that, well, I shot a video on and it was a short video. When I say short video, like I didn't have much on it. We're shooting a video on my 1985 deuce and a half. Now, I'm just gonna go straight to the point. This thing drove 100 miles to get here. Me and John drove it. And this morning, I'm driving along. All of a sudden, I lost my brakes. Well, it looks like I blew out a wheel cylinder on the rear right axle. So, I'm gonna have to look into getting some new wheel cylinders for this thing. Just one. I don't feel like doing them all, but I'll probably wind up, if I can find them, I'll probably buy more wheel cylinders. So anyways, I need to go buy me some more brake fluid for this, which is like insanely expensive because it's a special brake fluid. And we're just going to kind of go over everything and talk about this truck and talk about its possible history and stuff. I'm pretty excited to have this truck. Yes, I still have the other one that I shot the video on. I bought that one as a parts vehicle for this one. Well, it just turned out so good. There's no way it's gonna be a parts vehicle. So I'm gonna have two deuce and a halves. This one cleaned up pretty good. So this one's gonna need a front differential for it because the city decided to use it for hurricane stuff, and then they were like, we don't need to flush out the differentials. Well, they should have. I wish they did, because then I'd have a better truck. But anyways, we're talking about this truck. Now, I know that this truck is an early model deuce and a half because of this style brake handle here. The newer ones had like a straight handle with like a button and an adjuster on it. This is the old style. It has been disconnected underneath the truck. I'm going to look into why it's been disconnected, and we'll get the cable working and everything. So I'll have emergency appreciate it. Yeah, it runs good too. Thank you. People compliment me everywhere I go. Anyhow, so we're gonna get the e-brake working hopefully in this video, figure out the wheel cylinder situation and stuff like that. So back to this. It's like an early model. It is titled as an 85. So the military, they don't have titles for their vehicles. It's almost like the vehicles don't exist. But they all have identification numbers. We find when they go to apply for a title, they use the identification number of the vehicles. They're not special numbers like a regular VIN. The military just have them as an identification number. So another thing I found out is occasionally these trucks get rebuilt. Let's say they get damaged or they get worn out, they get overhauled. And when they get overhauled, they get new, let me see if I can open up this thing, give you a better view. So they have this plaque overhauled at date, which is 1985, and is that odometer? 25,000? Something like that. Anyhow, then they get new plates right here with a new number. So when they get a title, they just title it with the new build number and all that stuff and build date. So this is an early model truck, but it's titled as an 85, which is crazy. John's here. I gotta let y'all go and we'll get back to talking more about this when I get back. All right, so I'm back. It's after lunch, and I am figuring out that I'm going to be working on, see about getting some lights working. The brakes are going to have to wait until Monday. It's Saturday today, so I'll do my best going online trying to find, you know, maybe a rebuild kit or something. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to White Owl on Monday and see if he's got anything in stock. So I need to figure out why I have no lights. So my buddy said that it kept blowing fuses, so I've got to try to find a fuse box on this thing, and we'll work on finding out why it's blowing fuses. All right, so I have looked behind the switch for like wires and stuff and fuses. There's no fuses on a 2.5. I find that a little hard to believe. I did read that there's a fuse here, and that's pretty much it. So, oh, I was expecting to find about the same battery setup on my other deuce over there, but it's different. So, but I do need to disconnect the battery because I'm going to be pulling the switch out from the dash and start investigating why I don't have headlights and taillights. And that wiring under there, like I said, is very scary, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it's starting to get dark already, can you tell? Which means I won't be able to work tomorrow, and it's supposed to be raining its butt off tomorrow. So I heard someone say monsoon, so we'll see. Oh, good. I disconnected the battery. There we go. Well, that was easy. Now that's disconnected, let's check out the switch, the wiring and stuff. We are going to remove this switch right here, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to gain access to the backside of the wiring, and maybe I can power this thing back up and check for powers and grounds and look for anything kind of crazy looking, you know? So yeah, battery's disconnected, no power. That's good. I think it's 4 bolts, and I'm gonna have to take these switches off too. Let me check to see if there's any other switches, any extra parts that came with this thing, and maybe that'll give me a little bit to look at. All right, so we got some filters. Look right there. There's a switch right there, and it looks kind of new. So I'm reaching behind the dash and I am unscrewing the plug on the back of the switch. And once I get that unplugged, I'll be able to look at the pins and stuff. So the previous owner did say something about, you know, if you can find a wiring harness, you should probably think about a wiring harness. I sure hope not. I'm hoping I'm gonna find something pretty quick, so. All right. Telephone. Well, all the pins look okay. All right, so there's no real great way of looking at this I'm sure there might be a way of checking the pins possibly. But I don't know. We'll get this I'll get a good look at the plug right there. And I don't see any surprises there. Oh wow. Yeah, we've got broken wire there. Yeah, we have some definite issues here. Dang. All right, I'm gonna have to dig into this. I'm gonna turn off the camera and take a better look. See if I can get this flashlight situated. So I have power on. We're gonna check the pins. No power there. No power there. None there. None there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. And back to that one. None there. None there. None there. None there. None there. Okay. So what we've got is we've got a broken wire that is going partially in the harness, and it is probably really close to catching this thing on fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the harness there, and I'm going to tap into the hot wire. I'm going to put in a fuse because they say that there's no fuses on this. Well, I think it would be a great idea to have a fuse on this truck. So hopefully when we get that done and hooked up, we'll have lights. I'm heading to the military surplus, and I'm going to be getting wheel cylinders. I'm going to go ahead and get another starter. Look for a wiring diagram harness. And oh yeah. On my other deuce and a half, the one sitting right there next to my broke down dually because it left me stranded on the side of the road, not the side of the road, but left me stranded at, of all places, the Red Lobster. A little embarrassing. But I am missing, okay, so I'm missing a panel here. I'm missing a panel here. So I'm missing these panels. And I'm also missing a window right there. So I've got that panel and I've got that panel. And yeah. So I need a window and a panel and two panels over here. So I'm gonna be heading over and seeing about buying some of those. I better bring lots of money, lots and lots of money. So guys, I'm heading to the military surplus right now. All right guys, so I've made it. Let's go inside and see what kind of parts we can get. Oh, he's on the phone. So I'll just kind of chill in here for a bit. All kinds of cool stuff. All right guys, so thanks to White Owl, I've got a new wiring harness. I have all new wheel cylinders. I also picked up a whole door with a window in it. And what else did I get? Various other parts. So they had everything I needed to work on this truck, and they have a guy that goes out in the field and they'll pull the parts for you when he's here, because of course no one's allowed in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the road, grab me some lunch, and I'm gonna get back to the shop and start working on the truck again so I can get it running and driving this week again. So thanks to White Owl, and let's get out of here. All right, now that I'm back at the shop, we're gonna get right back to just patching this wiring for right now, and then I'm gonna work on the rear right wheel cylinder. So I plan on replacing the wiring, because I did buy the wiring harness on this thing. I do plan on replacing it, just not right now. I'll probably do it in the springtime when the weather's a little bit more pleasant. It gets pretty cold here, and I don't like working with my hands in the cold. So, patching, which is going to be faster, then I'll replace it. All right. All I've got is one more wire I got to hook up, and should be able to put the wiring back together, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna have some lights on this truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up and move on to something else. So this is like the nastiest wiring I've ever seen, and there's absolutely no amount of electrical tape that is gonna just cover up this electrical nightmare. It is crazy. I don't blame you for trying, but yeah, there's no fixing this. It's a replace it. So I'm cutting off the nasty electrical tape job, which I'm sure was helping some, because that looks like an arc spot right there. I am going to cut the wire. I'm going to add the little heat shrink tubing along with a new I'm going to put the crimp right back on the wire, cover everything up. This is just a temporary fix again. So doing like this right here. So it's cut, and I'm going to add this electrical heat shrink. So it's going to work very nice, and I need a bigger piece. Crimp this, and I'm gonna crimp this back into place. And now we're gonna break out the lighter, and this is gonna get us going a while longer. Now you don't want to get this too close to the other heat shrink, because you want to be able to get it back on too. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So now I'm gonna pull this over. I'm gonna hit it with the lighter again. And just like this, guys, it is covered up. So this is my temporary, not permanent fix. But now we don't have a naked wire. There's a connector, there's the wire, everything's covered up. I'm just going to finish that with the next few wires, and we should be good to go. It is now dark outside, as you can see, and here we have the switch right here. Let's turn on the power, and let's turn on the lights. Hey, we have lights. That is awesome. Let's go check out the rear and see if we have brake lights. Hey, we have brake lights. That is awesome. Guys, that is awesome. All right, so I'll see y'all in the morning. I'm gonna be working on the brakes on this thing, and then we're gonna be taking it for a ride. So yes. Now I'm only gonna be replacing one wheel cylinder right now. I would highly suggest replacing them all, because what's going to happen for me, that wheel cylinder is going to be fixed, and then next thing you know, this wheel cylinder will leak, and I'll replace that, and then this wheel cylinder will start to leak. So I highly recommend doing all of them, because when you lose the brakes on these things, you lose it all. But I'm just getting a little bit too eager, and I'm ready to drive this thing around, so that's why I'm doing that. So let's get this wheel jacked up and taken off and see what we got. All right, so I've got my 3-ton jack under it. Let's see if it'll even think about it. It lifted it. Okay, well, it lifted it enough. I will just make sure I don't get under it. For me, this tool, or this truck came with a really nice tool. It's like a multiplier, torque multiplier. So by hand, I'm able to loosen the lug nuts by hand, which is awesome. I'm just getting them loose, and then I'm gonna put the impact gun on it, take the lug nuts off. I'm gonna spray some brake clean on these shoes. I should be replacing these shoes since they're so saturated. Unfortunately, I don't have any shoes. I asked if I should get shoes, and he was like, nah.
When you spray them down,
yeah,
take your piece of
sandpaper and sand it, yeah. So after I clean them up real good, you rough them up with sandpaper, get a good rough surface, and throw it back together, and fingers crossed it'll be okay. All right, so clean it up, then we have 2 bolts on the back holding the wheel cylinder. We'll swap it out, put it back together, and be good to go. All right, so as y'all can see, I am done. It is the wheels on, the wheel cylinders in. Let's go check the brakes and let's see if the brakes are still working. All right. Oh. Ignition on. Make sure it's not in gear. Cranking. Fires right up. Put her in gear. Move forward and hit the brakes. Oh yeah. We have brakes, guys. And we also have brake lights and headlights, so that is awesome. So I'm gonna go take this thing for a spin, and hopefully it's gonna do just fine. Second. That's second. Oh, I gotta turn on the brake lights. All right. Going for a drive. So guys, the truck looks fantastic. Check it out. It's starting to dry, but all the colors are brighter. The color has actually changed some. It is looking pretty good. Eventually I will repaint it, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to repaint it exactly the same way as it is, or if I'm going to just do a camo type paint job like on the other Deuce and a Half. But it is looking really, really good. A lot better than when I started. So guys, I guess that's it for this video. For some reason my wiper's going. That's it for this video, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. More Deuce and a Half stuff I'm sure will be coming up, because I've still got to do the wiring harness. I need to do all the wheel cylinders, and I'm sure I'll road trip it or something. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all later. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
They should name that alligator Mulligan.